Marvel Television has officially pulled back the curtain on its next mind-bending entry, dropping the first look at VisionQuest at Disney's Upfronts presentation. With Star Trek Picard mastermind Terry Matalas steering the ship, this series isn't just a simple spin-off, it is a monumental event. Lock it in, the 8-episode series premieres Wednesday, October 14, 2026 on Disney+, with the grand finale scheduled for December 2, 2026, positioning it as the ultimate narrative bridge leading directly into the high-stakes theater rollout of Avengers Doomsday. The presence of Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Hiddleston at the presentation all but confirms that White Vision's existential journey is explicitly hard-coded into the multiversal survival tracking of Phase 6, functioning as the definitive concluding chapter of the WandaVision trilogy, directly succeeding both the 2021 Parent Show and Agatha All Along. The footage promises an absolute visual and psychological masterclass. Today, we are breaking down every major leak, parsing the bizarre mechanics of Vision's mindscape, and analyzing a massive corporate retcon that brings Tony Stark's forgotten legacy back to life in human form. The sitcom Mindscape, the Creel House meets dark sitcoms. For anyone wondering where White Vision went after flying away into the skies during the Westview climax, the series picks up roughly a year later, revealing that the android is trapped in a devastating psychological bottleneck. While the data of his original memories was unlocked, he completely lacks the human emotional programming to connect with them. He understands his past with Wanda Maximoff intellectually, but he feels absolutely nothing. To visualize this existential crisis, Terry Matalas is implementing a brilliant, surreal aesthetic that blends the structural horror of Stranger Things' Creel House with a hyper-stylized 1960s sitcom mansion. When we see a flesh-and-blood Paul Bettany approaching a giant white mansion from behind, we are peering directly into his fractured consciousness. Inside this mental grid, the show is utilizing a highly distinct narrative technique. Vision is perceiving his own internal programming and memories as physical human beings coexisting under one roof. It creates a deeply meta-episodic architecture where each chapter operates like its own standalone film, paying heavy homage to mid-century modern tropes, while Vision tries to manually assemble an authentic personality from the fragments of his creators. The Stark AI family tree, Tony's creations in the flesh. This brings us to the massive Phase 2 and Phase 3 retcon that completely alters the technological lore of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The series reveals that over the past year, White Vision has traveled the globe systematically collecting the wandering, orphaned digital consciousnesses of Tony Stark's various artificial intelligences, storing them directly within his own mental network. Inside the surreal 1960s mansion of his mind, these programs have manifested as a highly dysfunctional human family tree, setting up an intense psychological soap opera. VisionQuest, the Mindscape software ensemble, AI program, performer, human manifestation vibe, historical MCU protocol. Ultron, James Spader, bearded, insecure, evil grandfather archetype, primary antagonist of Age of Ultron, 2015. Jarvis, James Darcy, elegant, old-school paternal butler, Stark's first AI, originally a human in Agent Carter. Friday, Orla Brady, sharp, grounded maternal presence, replacement operating system from Civil War onward. Jocasta, Tania Miller, cunning, vengeful robotic bride, Easter egg background drive from the Stark Workshop. Edith, Emily Hampshire, tactical, high-alert security anchor, augmented reality drones from Spider-Man Far From Home. The absolute crown jewel of this casting rollout is the return of James Spader as Ultron. Instead of a towering metal tyrant, Spader is physically appearing on screen as a bearded human patriarch within the Mindscape. He is being framed as an evil grandfather figure, desperately craving respect, youth, and love, while constantly locking horns with his biological son, Vision. With Henry Lewis and Jonathan Sayer personifying the classic workshop robots DUME and U in human form, the show becomes a deeply personal exploration of Stark's engineering lineage, forcing Vision to reconcile his own existential identity against the very code that birthed him. The Madripoor assassin and the return of Tommy Maximoff. But VisionQuest isn't confined entirely to a surreal mental house. The practical reality of the physical world features an aggressive, high-stakes hunting mission. Because Vision's physical body is constructed from pure, pristine vibranium, his inert hardware is worth billions on the international black market, transforming him into a primary target for global syndicates. Todd Stashwick steps onto the board as Paladin, a ruthless, hyper-tactical assassin hired by a shadow network of villains to track down and physically acquire the White Vision. This tracking plotline will take the action straight into the lawless, neon-lit underbelly of Madripoor, heavily indicating that the series will pick up the lingering power broker threads left behind by Sharon Carter. Simultaneously, the physical world will host the monumental live-action debut of an adult Tommy Maximoff, Speed, being brought to life by Ruridi Malika. Following the supernatural events of Agatha All Along, where Billy placed his twin soul into the teenage body of Thomas Sefford, Tommy is out in the wild trying to find his footing, completely setting up a late-game reunion between the twin brothers and their synthetic father. The Ten Rings wildcard, and the Doomsday Horizon. Adding fuel to the fire, the series is pulling a magnificent deep-cut callback to the very beginning of the MCU, confirming Farin Tahir is reprising his role as Raza, the original leader of the Ten Ring Cell from 2008 Iron Man. Ever since Xialing assumed absolute control of the organization following Shang-Chi, various regional splinter cells have gone completely rogue, executing independent operations. Raza's return hints at ancient, pre-modern Stark technology contracts are resurfacing on the black market, linking the birth of the Iron Man armor directly to the hunt for Vision's current vibranium core. With Stark Industries legally owning the intellectual property of White Vision, Pepper Potts' hands-off corporate approach has allowed him to roam free. But the rest of the world isn't going to let a walking weapon of mass destruction sit idle while a multiversal collapse looms on the horizon. With the final episode dropping directly against the theatrical runway of Avengers Doomsday, the post-credit sequence is heavily rumored to feature an absolute flashpoint moment where Billy and Tommy successfully unite with Vision to track down the missing Scarlet Witch across the multiverse, setting up the Maximoff lineage as a critical defense line against Dr. Doom. The pieces are moving, the code is executing, and the countdown to October 14th is officially live.